Thank you, ladies, for your story. I have the challenge of trying to follow all of that bravery with a completely, almost seemingly unrelated story. My name is Josh Cook. I'm a board member with Phoenix Rising Transitions. We're a prison in-reach organization. We work to try to bridge the gap between incarcerated individuals and the community by teaching them community organizing. The relevance of me being here is that I myself have been previously incarcerated. At the age of 19, I was convicted of a Measure 11 day-for-day sentencing. My sentence was handed to me. You did not see a judge outside of my arraignment. I did not see a prosecutor. I did not see a DA. I'm fortunate enough that I was given the opportunity, I suppose, to have those sentences even presented to me. But I also see that the DA uses Measure 11 and has used Measure 11 as a tool to beat people into taking some sort of a plea deal. At 19, I'm not sitting before you saying I was an innocent person. I committed my crime. I definitely deserved some sort of recompense for that. The judge didn't feel that it was appropriate that I be given a day-for-day Measure 11, in that I had not ever committed a crime before that. Given my circumstances, I was blackout drunk. I don't remember the events, which doesn't take away the incident, but it left the judge without any ability to work with me to give me the opportunity to have a sentence that might fit my needs. It was not about that at all. It was just about locking somebody up. While I awaited they suggest that it's waiting a trial, but really it was waiting my next plea deal attempt. I met somebody that was 16 years old that was on trial for an assault. He had gotten into a fight on the playground, and they gave him 7 charges for multiple Measure 11s. And when I went from jail to prison, he was on my prison bus with me. I went to a men's facility. He was there with me in a men's facility. The fact that the people voted for this law in 1994 based on the idea that it was going to be for people that have committed multiple crimes. It was for men who were older and who had definitely proven that maybe they needed something a little bit more severe. It was not designed to be a first-time offender weapon. It was not designed to be a tool to pressure people into taking a plea deal so that they could clear their dockets quicker. It was sold for severe criminals. And the fact that after 25 years, we have just now been able to see bills take place that affect the way Measure 11 sentences individuals is sort of testament to how much the DA loves it and how much the prosecutors love it. It's a great tool, man. They don't even have to see people anymore. They just have to wave their law and throw some charges at people. I have seen it affect young adults that just were fucked up for a little bit and maybe needed some probation or maybe needed maybe a few years, whatever the decision might have been. They needed the judge to be able to look at that case and have some sort of say over how things were going to proceed, which just isn't the case. And I know the recent law is a good step in that direction, but until the DA and the prosecutor stop being in love with a system that doesn't work, proven to not work, we're not going to see any changes to that. And when you do get in trouble, and I am sure here that people can end up with 20 years or 8 years or 10 years for seemingly minor offenses, it does cause people to do something crazy, like run or act violent or act out, because they're scared of what could happen in police custody or what could happen after police custody. You know, this for me was a long time ago. I've had a lot of time to work on myself and to work with organizations that are trying to make an impact in the world. I've had the pleasure of working with Surge most recently with Phoenix, and we feel that the DA's power is pretty wide, not in just how they're prosecuting criminals, but obviously how they're prosecuting police officers, obviously how they're wielding the tools that we've supposedly given them in a negatively impactful way to our community. I'm wondering how many more times I can fit into this. I had a bunch of notes. I have completely disregarded every single one of them in an attempt to sort of speak a little bit more from experience. I don't know. I don't think 19 was the best age to be handed a sentence. I don't think 16 is. I don't think. I certainly don't think people should have to worry about whether or not they're going to be murdered on their arrest. I don't think people should have to worry about the fact that even though the person that's currently our DA isn't running, that he can just put somebody else in there. And there's not a lot we would be able to do about it. Maybe, you know, make some noise and throw some signs at them or throw bricks at them. But ultimately, we need something in place that's going to be longer than the next DA. It's going to be bigger than the person who takes office this next time. It needs to be more impactful than this next election. And I think this platform that Surge has is on the right track. Without major changes to a sentencing structure that is a day-for-day minimum sentencing as it is, we're going to continue to see, seemingly drop in crime, but only because there's more people staying in prison longer. The recidivism rate is not increasing, not decreasing. It's not getting better. So people are staying longer. It looks like crime has fallen, but they're still coming out completely unrehabilitated with absolutely no interest now at this point in doing anything better for their community. I'm not saying that the DA is going to have the power to make it easier for criminals to have a good time in prison or come out better people, but it would be nice if our criminal justice system took some sort of interest in the people they're putting in prison who will get out. You know, when people ask me why I continue to do this work, at first it was to help myself. Helping me is a healthy community. I certainly don't want to recidivize. You know, I don't want to go back to prison. But I really have a vested interest in the type of people that come out of there. It would really benefit me if they also didn't want to recidivize or go back to prison. And being here today, if I have any impact on the kind of DA that we get, the kind of prosecutors that end up in office, the kind of laws that end up taking place in that, then, you know, all this will be worth it. It'll be exactly what I'm hoping to achieve. So I greatly appreciate everybody listening in tonight. And again, thank you so much for your bravery and sharing your stories, able to respectfully make the transition into mine and not take away any of your impact. Thank you for having me here today.